just see how we sound first. How do I sound in your ears? Does it sound okay?
Yeah. What about me?
Oh, yeah, you're nice and loud. Hold on, I got to turn up a bit.
Testing. Yeah, I think it sounds fine. It has like the slightest delay.
Yeah, that kind of throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like when you cough in the mic, right?
I think so. I think they prefer it, actually.
I like listening to it anyways.
Yeah.
But this sounds good to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll go with it. I can always amplify it later if I need to. So you're my first guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
First guest. I'm honored.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. This is I have absolutely no fan base, by the way. There's nobody that listens to this except for like fan. Thank you.
I have listened.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're one of the 6.
Nice.
One of the 6. I know everybody who's listened to this, and like
okay.
4 of them are family.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll do a little intro.
Yeah.
I have no idea. What's the name of my pod? Oh yeah, welcome back to the World Canon Podcast. We have camera now and lights, and my buddy Alex. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Alex. Chris and I have been friends for a couple years now. He's one of my best pals. Started this podcast recently. Let me know, invited me on, and I'm stoked to be here. Stoked to see where all this goes.
Awesome. We're not sponsored, but
not
we
sponsored.
Like no. Drink Prime. Hopefully someday we will be. So, Alex, I know we already talked.
Yeah.
You've been here for a little while now, and we've already had a full-blown conversation. But just for the sake of this, let's pretend like we haven't. How have you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Love North Idaho. It's beautiful. I've spent so much time the past few years in extremely hot states where it's 100 degrees in the summertime and it's absolutely blaring. So it's nice to be up here where it's snowy, green trees, lakes. It's cold. Although contradicting. Getting slightly tired of the cold.
Yeah, it's the story of my life.
Yeah. I think my audio just cut out.
I think it did.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay, we're back.
Cool.
I'll just put like a little technical difficulties in that part or something.
Yeah.
That's funny. You can just ignore what's on the screen. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just pretend like that's not there. Don't break the fourth wall. Don't break it.
Don't break it.
Don't break the fourth wall.
Don't break it.
Yeah. Anything else about yourself? Would you like what do you you don't have to get too deep. People don't really need to know that much about you. You can just say what you want.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think something. Sorry. I think something about a little something about music.
Yeah. I've been creating music for about going on 5 years now. It's not my profession, but it's something I've always been super, super passionate about. I actively do it, a couple times a week whenever I have free time to do so. I've got tons of music stored on my MacBook, and I'm just kind of planning when all that's going to come out in the future. So, be on the lookout for that. Not trying to plug myself. It's just my name. Dude. It's just Alex.
Plug it away. I'll put a little link in the description.
Heck yeah.
He's got a Spotify. I love his stuff. I love listening to it while just working out and at work sometimes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll send all 6 of my 5 because you're one of the 6.
Yeah, dude.
Way, so
yeah,
I'm sure your numbers are gonna go way up. After this.
Dude,
so you're skyrocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's nice that he's out of the way. I have no idea how to segue into this. I still haven't figured out segues really.
Right.
I kind of struggle with that part. This is a history podcast. I don't know if I mentioned that to you.
Yeah.
Can you guess what we're going to talk about today? Oh, I guess I should say, I didn't tell Alex what we were going to talk about today. He has no idea.
Yeah.
I have a whole story that I have very how do you say that word? Excruciatingly, researched and written and cultivated for my friend here and for you, the listeners, for this episode. Yeah, I don't know, dude. So you don't know what it is.
I don't. I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Are you wanting me to guess?
Want to hammer? Yeah. What have I painstakingly researched and put together for you today?
Well, I know your first 2 episodes were American history, specifically the Civil War.
Yes. Yes.
Is it related to that?
The American part, yes.
Okay, but no Civil War.
Not exact. No.
Okay. World War?
No.
Lobsterbacks? 1776?
No. Okay. Well, good guesses.
Yeah.
All good guesses. But I do have a little video here
Okay.
that I want to show you.
Yeah.
That thank you for ignoring it this whole time.
Yeah.
And pretending like I'm just now pulling it up.
Right.
This is a little thing that went viral recently, and it might give you a bit of a clue as to what we're talking about. Hopefully this picks up on the recording.
More than likely, you're going to have one of the Venturini cars. We're assuming that maybe it might be Gustine. Have you guys talked to them at all?
Nope. I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor, and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man. Sounds good. And I know you have a great relationship with the Venturinis. I know when you had trouble last year.
Dude, hold on, I want to play that again. Let's run that back.
Nope. I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor, and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man. Sounds good. And I know you have a great relationship with the.
Oh man. Gold. Comedy gold. That was Andy Jenko. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I probably should have looked that up. It sounds Polish.
Lots of syllables.
Yeah. Lots of syllables. Lots of consonants. Do you know what he's doing there?
He's racing.
He's racing. Yes,
racing.
But what kind of racing?
NASCAR?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Alex. Good guess. You're a genius. You're a freaking genius.
Yeah.
So, can you guess what the topic is for today? Well, if you're gonna say the origin stories of NASCAR, you would be right.
Okay.
You're
Really?
right. You're right. Good.
Okay. I was
job,
going to
Eugene.
say that.
Yes.
By the way. Yeah.
You're amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
I love you so much. What?
I love you back.
Thank you.
No homo. But really
So
interesting.
yes. Yeah. So, do you? Before we get started, I guess while I pull this up, do you have like any knowledge about the founding of NASCAR? Like how it came to be?
Absolutely not. No.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. It's not like other sports. It's like football or baseball. It was like
Right.
founded by just guys playing it in clubs. Like, well, I mean, it was technically, but the way it started before is where it gets really interesting. So
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the whole thing, but it's the start that's kind of wild. So yeah, dude, like I have a whole outline right here.
Oh.
We'll see how this goes. This is the first time we're doing this. I'm honestly kind of nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man.
So would you say you're a fan of NASCAR as a red-blooded American? Like,
Not particularly. I mean,
Me
I
neither.
just didn't grow up watching it.
Me
It's not something my dad was into. We always had football on the TV or baseball, basketball. So I never grew up watching it. I have watched it from time to time. I have some buddies who are into that, as well as Formula One. I know they're two different things, but other than that, no, I don't know a lot about it.
me neither.
Yeah.
Until I did the research for this.
Hey.
No, yeah, I mean, I never really watched it much either. My grandpa would have it on his TV at his house sometimes, and like I'd watch it then. But it's like, yeah, they're just driving around in a circle over again. I will tell you what is fun to watch though are the crash compilations on
Yeah,
YouTube.
I have seen those.
Those are awesome. I love those.
Yeah.
Those are the best part. Yeah, or little bits like this. Hold on, I'm gonna play it one more time just because I love it so much.
Foot on the floor, and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checker. No, I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor, and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
Well, see, now I want to know, did he see God or a checkered flag?
I'm pretty sure he's still alive, but
He probably saw both.
a
Probably
lot
going
of
so
guys
fast.
have seen God.
Yeah.
Great. One of them we're going to be talking about today.
Okay.
All right, so should we actually get into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
The real thing? And once again, I mean, I already told you this is like a conversation.
Right.
So interject at any point, interrupt me whenever you feel like,
Okay.
sling a funny joke.
Yeah.
You know, I want this to be fun.
Okay, I'm down.
I want people to be entertained as much as they're learning because I want them to come back.
Yeah.
People don't just like learning. That's boring.
Right.
I've listened to podcasts like that, and I listen to like 1 or 2 episodes before I quit.
Yeah.
As much as I love history,
Yeah.
those types of history podcasts are boring. So, enough said. We'll cut that out, maybe. Okay, yeah, cool. No,
We're good. We're good.
We're good.
We're good. We're good.
We're good, bro. All right. What's besides NASCAR? What's one thing Americans love?
Cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Guns.
have them at NASCAR events, I'm pretty sure. But like, what's think liquid?
Beer.
Close.
Soda.
Okay, you're getting cold.
Okay, wait. It's not beer.
It's not beer,
It's so American.
but it's like beer.
It's like beer. So it's a drink.
It's a drink,
It's a drink.
and it has the similar effects as beer.
Okay. Is it alcohol?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it-
alcohol.
Okay, it's alcohol.
Americans, gosh, excuse me. Oh yeah, somebody's gonna love listening to that. This prime is very bubbly.
Yeah.
It's whiskey.
Yeah.
People love, especially Americans. We love whiskey. I don't drink, but
Yeah.
you don't
Sometimes.
really. Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. Like whiskey,
Kind of.
kind of.
It's like a guilty pleasure. Like you hate it because it's way too strong.
Yeah.
But you like that.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
like-
good part about it.
It's like
burns.
spice. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, pain, but I like it. That's the
Yeah.
best way I could. Yeah.
Yeah, I like a little bit of a hot
Yeah.
sauce on my burritos.
Yeah.
Anyway, what does whiskey have to do with NASCAR? Well, let me tell you.
I'd hope they aren't drinking it and doing that.
Some of them probably are, especially back in the day. I could only imagine. Like you probably have to do that in order to do that. You probably have to drink whiskey in order to be willing to do that.
I mean, these guys are just some daredevils.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
200 miles per hour in a circle for 500 laps.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
That sounds scary.
Isn't the car like super light too?
Oh yeah, they strip everything out of that.
Like, yeah.
It's just like a shell, wheels, a V8 engine, and like one seat
Yeah.
and a roll cage.
Just drunk driving a feather, hoping to see God or a checkered flag.
Hopefully the checkered flag. Well, Alex, Americans love whiskey. In
They
fact,
do. Yeah.
we love it so much that it was taxed by the British.
Right.
We're going way back.
Yeah.
We're just going way back
Way
from the
back.
start of this episode, way before NASCAR even happened. Before the Revolutionary War, the British taxed whiskey. I've got to be honest. Listening to myself in my head is throwing me for a loop. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm gonna take these off for a little bit.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
so I can actually like focus.
Yeah.
Anyway, whiskey was taxed by the British,
Right.
right? Because they hate fun and they just wanted to trample on us, good old American boys. And I mean, we showed them what for eventually.
Right.
But while it was being taxed, what many Americans would do is they would either smuggle whiskey past British blockades, or they would do bootleg whiskey. They would make their own whiskey. Now, do you know what the Nice. We're
Yeah.
just
Primes. Yeah.
welcome to the burping episode, everybody. No. Do you know what the most efficient, I guess, like economically speaking, ingredient for whiskey is?
Malt?
Malt, but specifically what kind?
I don't know.
Corn.
Corn.
Corn malt.
Corn malt.
Corn. Why corn? Because corn is cheap and it's easy to grow,
Makes sense.
and it it's easy to turn into malt. Cornstarch is, it's abundant, and it's it's just cheap economically all around. So a lot of farmers would create this bootleg corn whiskey, and they would sell it to all the people who couldn't get whiskey or didn't want to buy the heavily taxed British whiskey to make money off of it. Then, after the Revolutionary War, the U.S. government tried taxing whiskey to pay for the war. We had accrued a lot of expenses. War's kind of expensive.
It is.
It's a little pricey.
Yeah.
And we had to pay it off. So they tried taxing it. So what did people do? Same exact thing they did when the British tried to tax it. They bootlegged their own whiskey. And they sold it to people who didn't want to buy the tax whiskey. Fast forward to 1920, so we're making a little bit of a jump here. Little bit of a jump. We're skipping about an entire century. What happened in the 20s? Do you know?
It's right around World War One, right before the Great Depression, right?
Yeah, Great Depression era, right after World War One. What else? You remember?
No.
The Prohibition.
Okay.
You know what that is?
No.
Oh,
That's
okay.
sad. If it once you explain it to me, I will
This is great, dude.
recollect.
I love this. This is a good balance. I'm the history guy.
Right.
You're like the audience.
Yeah.
But you get to be. By the way, you look massive in that chair. I don't know what I look like, but the chair is so small.
I feel like the pillow too.
You look
It's like
like-
pushing me forward. Wait.
You look, I look like a child's play chair. Like you're like sitting down playing with
Like
your
the
kid.
little tykes. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You look like your knees should be coming up to your chest.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I've been on the bulk, so
Oh,
take
yeah?
it as a compliment. Yeah.
Yes,
My goal
yes.
was to look
Looking
massive
swole.
in this time.
Swole. I can't really do a full flex with this mic in front of me, but yeah. You're looking good. You look good, dude. You look good. But that chair does make you look like a giant.
Okay. Good to know.
Hey, you just look big. Girls like I'm big. Where were we? Yeah, No, this is perfect.
You know what? Never mind.
You're like, what?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, fine. If you insist. If you really don't want to say it, that's all right. We'll just skip past it. But no, it's great. It's like you're like the audience hearing this stuff for the first time too. So
Yeah.
that's a good balance.
Yeah.
I didn't even plan that, but that's perfect. I like that. Yeah. Anyway, the Prohibition was a governmental ban on alcohol during the 20s.
Yeah.
So basically, it was just dry states, dry counties meant no. It wasn't exactly no alcohol, but like nobody could produce alcohol without a certain authority
Okay.
or move it, say, across county lines and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So it was very bad for the alcohol business. There were a lot of dry counties like where you literally could not get alcohol at all. Mm-hmm. Like if you went to a club, all you could buy was club soda or tea or water or whatever. There was no booze.
God,
And
for people, the Great Depression came right after that. Man.
It makes it even worse. But yeah, so basically booze was illegal, and I'm sure you can probably guess this. What happens to something when it's illegal? What happens to its value?
Goes up.
It goes way
Goes up. Yeah.
Like
hard
cocaine.
to get.
Yeah.
Scarcity.
Hard to get.
Yeah.
What's economics 101? You should know this.
Dude, I dropped out of college.
Oh, come on, you're a salesman. Dude, I don't know either.
Wait, repeat the question. Repeat the question.
Economics 101. Wolf of Wall Street.
Talking about like supply and demand.
Supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
Especially illegal supply and demand.
Right, yeah. I mean, if there's a lot of something, it's not worth a lot. If it's scarce and hard to get, value goes way up.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean,
its price goes up, especially if it's illegal, like cocaine, illegal arms, beluga caviar, children, that sort of thing.
Right.
Super expensive.
yeah.
I'm telling you, man. So that made bootlegging booze a very profitable crime. Bootleggers made homemade whiskey, later called moonshine.
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 Some moonshine.
That good old Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Initially, small town cops that worked in these counties were easy to buy off, but later came the federal agents who would be called revenuers. They were key termed that by the bootleggers. This is when stakes got higher, because that meant getting caught with illegal liquor meant going to prison. Not just county jail, prison.
That's so
Federal
weird
prison.
to think about.
That's wild, isn't
Going
it?
to prison?
For some whiskey,
For
some
some-
moonshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Hey, high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you can run this stuff and sell it, you get paid a lot.
Yeah.
People did. People made a ton of money from bootleg whiskey. Like Al Capone.
Yeah.
A lot of his criminal empire was built off of illegal liquor during the Prohibition.
Dude, that's so weird to process because, like, that's what happened with marijuana. In so many states, it was, you know, super illegal, Schedule 1 drug. You'd go to prison, you'd get felonies for possession or dealing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now it's, just go buy it at the store.
I know there's still like some dudes serving like 50 years for marijuana in New York
Yeah.
though, because he got busted just like a year too early.
Yep.
Dude, it sucks.
It's crazy.
I don't even like smoke weed, but still, that's total bull crap.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Do you smoke?
not anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thanks.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have to talk about this.
No, dude.
I
Yeah.
should-
I
I
used
should
to.
be-
I used to all the time for like years.
Yeah.
From age like 14 until past couple years, it was wake up, do it all day before bed, spend a lot of money doing it, and then past like a year or two, it's been way less frequent. It just doesn't. I'm one of those people where I told myself I was very high functioning, but I was not at all. There are some people who can do it all the time and get everything done and it doesn't affect them. But that wasn't me. Every time I have it in my life, I'm just not the person I could be, you know, without it.
Yep.
You know, that's how I...
Helps me unwind to do nothing all day.
Yeah.
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 I hear you.
'Cause I have a very addictive personality, so it's
Oh,
not a
same.
good thing for me. Yeah.
I can't do anything in
Yeah.
moderation.
Yeah, it's...
Like
yeah.
this. I started this 4 weeks ago. I already bought like 2 new mics, headsets. I bought lights.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know. I hope this thing doesn't just flop and I have to sell this stuff on Marketplace. Gosh, I'm terrified. Bootleggers first opted for stealth on getting around law enforcement.
Yeah.
Basically think like Pablo Escobar moving cocaine. They would transport booze in trucks and hide it under other things like lumber and cotton, so legal goods. Obviously, though, feds caught onto that pretty quickly, so they went with speed and maneuverability instead. The moonshiners did.
Yeah.
Bootleggers started tripping out their rides, their personal cars. Fords were the most popular of the time.
Right.
It's a win for Ford.
Big win.
I've had 2 Fords in my life. I'm on my second Ford. Both have had awful overheating issues. The coolant system is just busted.
Yeah.
I had to get like a gasket on my truck replaced, just like a part of the coolant system. It's like $1,000, dude.
Yeah.
$1,000. I got new tires too. $800. Yeah. $800
Yeah.
for some tires,
Dude, I just put some on my Corolla. They were like $650.
I'm envious.
On a Corolla, though.
That is
dude, on a
crazy, though.
It's
That
a
is
15-inch
crazy.
rib.
What year is that thing even?
05.
Mine's an 01.
Okay.
And oh gosh, dude.
Yeah,
it's
that's
something.
how my F-150 was, too. I drove an F-150 in high school for, like, 2 or 3 years. It had
Country boy.
It had 165 on it when I got
Praise
it.
God.
And between 165 and like 200, so many problems, dude.
Nice.
Like, put more money into fixing it than I paid for it.
Yeah.
Like transmission,
Yeah.
gaskets, upper arm control, shocks. Like every part in the book on that thing just died, man.
It's probably going to be the same thing with mine. I bought it for like $3,000. I've already spent $1,800 fixing things.
Okay.
Yeah, but hey, it beats paying like $450 a month for
Yeah.
something else.
Dude, I
So,
think the average car payment now is like 800.
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Dude, I have a buddy with off topic. I have a buddy with a Tesla. He bought it before they went down.
Bougie.
Paid like 70. Payments $1,400 a month.
That's almost my rent,
Dude. And yeah, now it's worth like 30.
bro.
So he's underwater, upside down, and paying a rent payment for his Tesla.
Up doo-doo creek with more doo-doo for a paddle. That saying doesn't really work if you don't like swear.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to make it that type of podcast.
Yeah. I figured,
It's tempting
yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Been
tempting.
biting my tongue the whole time.
People from my church listen to this. I have
Yeah.
to like bring it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about alcohol and weed and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Part of life.
Part of life. It truly is. Where were we? Yeah, okay. So Fords were the most popular of the time. Oh, another thing.
Yeah.
So you know that like little like cigarette lighter Bluetooth thing that you have in
Yes.
yours? I
Yes.
got one for my truck.
Nice.
It's awesome. I love it so
Yeah.
much. I can finally listen to whatever I want now.
Yeah. Dude, what happens when you go to like Washington? Have you been to Washington since you got it?
Yeah.
For me, around like 287, it starts to flicker, and I can hear like a radio station that's connected to the channel I use in Idaho.
What channel do you use?
105.9.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had to change it like all year too, because I was in California and then Texas, so I've had to just change it depending on where I am.
Yeah, you get radio frequencies interfering.
Yeah.
Mine like automatically tuned to one of the reservation stations for some reason. So sometimes I'll hop in my truck and I'll start it, and the thing won't like turn on, and my radio will turn on, and it'll just start blasting like tribal drum music and chanting like hey, yeah yeah yeah. I'm like, what is going on? This is not Limp Bizkit. This isn't Casting Crowns.
This isn't
or one of my
Tupac.
audiobooks. No, enough of Fords. Actually, no, not enough of Fords. We're going to talk about Fords a little bit more. They're a pretty prominent figure in NASCAR. But yeah, so Fords were the most popular of the time. They would trip out their personal rides. One thing they would do is they would mount devices. You're going to like this. This is pretty cool. They would mount devices on the back that would drop nails or oil behind them while being chased by just simply pushing a button or flipping a switch. Yeah.
Like a spike strip.
Yeah,
Kind
but
of.
like for their pursuers.
Yeah.
So like imagine like a can or a canister, I guess, like a little steel box.
Yeah.
And it's hooked up to a wire. You got it basically. Push a button, drops nails and
Yeah.
oil. Like Mario Kart, like real life Mario Kart.
banana.
Yeah. See like a federal car like spinning behind them. Another thing they would do, they would also mount smoke machines. Like, I don't even know how they did that, honestly. I don't know if it was like just like smoke grenades that would drop behind them or something, but smoke machines to create a smoke screen that to blind their pursuers and escape. And they would also even put like steel plates, like armor, around their radiators, so that because one thing the revenuers, the federal agents would do, and the cops would they would just simply like shoot their engines with like rifles and stuff, try to knock them out.
Seems so extreme.
You ain't getting that moonshine across county lines, son. So, yeah, they went above and beyond every way they could. Because, I mean, if you get caught, you're going to prison.
Yeah.
Remember? So, you're doing what you can to not escape.
I mean, they're basically drug dealers at the time. Even though now we have the view of, like, just some booze. Who cares? It's legal everywhere. You could buy it at any store. But at that time, I mean,
might as well be cocaine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, even cocaine nowadays isn't that bad. Like, you can, well, depending on where you are, it's
Right.
like, you ever done cocaine?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's kind of hoping.
I haven't. No, I have not.
I used to have, in college, I had a buddy named, actually I had three buddies. This sounds like I'm making up names. Actually, you know what?
It's like that one scene in Ted. It's like Evelyn, Marilyn, Kaylin. It's Lyn at the end.
You know what? Actually, now that I think of it, let's use fake names because this is going on the internet.
Yeah.
Let's say XYZ.
Okay.
XYZ.
Yeah.
XYZ. I'm going to have to... Hold on. Let me... I need to put a little like timestamp down so I know where to go to bleep their names.
Yeah.
But my friends XYZ in college, like during our lunch breaks and stuff, they would go out into the parking lot of our like school facility and just do lines of coke on like the center console of one of their cars. Just hang out. Like listen to Drake just like be blasting Drake out the windows. I just like walk by. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? And they just be like in there like zooted out of their minds. I never realized until like after we graduated. They're like, yeah, we used to do coke during lunch out in like so and so's car.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's like it's college, everything like that happens, but that's like, what are your goals?
Doing cocaine in the parking lot.
Just at lunch, like, dude, I'm gonna go do a line. Like, what?
Dude, that's it.
Yeah,
Like
no,
crackhead diet.
Yeah, I had a teacher in high school. He's also my football coach, my freshman year. Won't say his name. Super good dude. Really weird. And he was one of the coaches that like knew that all the players were partying and, you know, probably getting into not great stuff. But he was like cool with it as long as you were smart. And as long as he said no powders. He's like, you can touch the herbs, don't touch the powders. No powders.
No cocaine, no DMT. No, oh gosh, dude. At least he had standards.
Yeah.
At least, you know,
Yeah.
nobody's like losing too much weight from just being high on crack or cocaine. Cocaine is a drug. Oops, I said the HE double hockey stick word. Oh well. Yeah, anyway, so revenuers also had some tricks up their sleeves. They would put grabbing devices and steel rams on their cars. So like big claws on the front of their cars to grab the moonshiners, and then bumpers to just like shove them off the road and into a tree or something.
Dude, this is blowing my mind. Just imagining this. Like
We're talking about NASCAR, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, dude, I mean, at the time, all throughout human history, so many problems in the world. Meanwhile, there's government officials chasing down alcoholics because they want to have a good time. Obviously, there's money involved with this scenario, but
Meanwhile, over in Germany, Hitler's getting his foothold in the German political system and
knocking down buildings in Poland, and we're chasing down alkies, man. It's crazy.
Eventually, moonshiners found their best alternative was sheer speed. So, I got my notifications on. Shut that off. So, no longer the gimmicks. Their idea was, if we can just be faster than the feds, than the cops, then we don't need all the nails and oil. So they started souping out their rides to just drive quicker.
Yeah.
Though eventually Prohibition did end, but that didn't mean moonshining did. It wasn't as profitable as it was, but it still was. It also still had bad consequences. Moonshiners were still souping up their rides, obviously. So even after Prohibition, there were still dry counties. So you could still make a pretty buck in those counties if you could smuggle alcohol in there. And you could still go to jail for that. I don't know if the punishment was that bad. I didn't do research into that part, but I do know it was still profitable and therefore still high risk. Mm-hmm. But obviously the defensive choice was speed now at this point.
Dude, this whole time I've been like, how is this going to tie into NASCAR? And now I'm kind of seeing where it's going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we're about to take that turn. Yeah, I didn't even mean
pun.
to.
Yeah,
No
that was
pun.
great. That was great.
Over time, these drivers and mechanics had learned many ways to squeeze every ounce of horsepower they could out of their automobiles. Moonshiners became the most knowledgeable and skilled drivers and mechanics around. There's a quote from Junior Johnson, who started driving moonshine at only 14 years old. 14.
Dang.
What were you doing when you were 14?
Drugs.
Yeah, he probably was. He's probably drinking a lot of moonshine or something. I don't know. I was like, what was I doing at 14? I think I was reading Harry Potter books and playing CSGO on Steam.
Damn.
Probably learning how to get in shape for the first time in my life or something.
That's
And
good.
Yeah, that was my
good.
drug of choice. Steam. Steam games online. Anyway, quote from Junior Johnson. He would also later become a Hall of Fame NASCAR racer. Quote, moonshiners put more time, energy, thought, and love into their cars than any racer ever will. He also once said, lose on the track and you go home. Lose with a load of whiskey and you go to jail. That's pretty hardcore. That's metal, dude. That's metal. He used aerodynamics by removing his windshield wipers and taping the gaps between the headlights and hood to make his rig travel faster. And then just on the age thing, there was another bootlegger named Curtis Turner, who also became a NASCAR racer, who started at 9 years old.
Dude.
A child.
That is third grade. Yeah.
Yeah, third, fourth, dude. A little tight. Just
How
a
could he
little guy.
He must have been tall.
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Tall, lanky country boy.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know, tied some mason jars to his boots to reach the pedals or something. I don't know. Sat on a pile of books. In 1932, Ford came out with a Ford V8. This was a game changer.
Big boy.
Because it was one of the first fast cars, fast stock cars, available to the general public. Moonshiners did what they do best. They got them and they made them better. They're all right, Ford, that was pretty good. Hold my moonshine. Watch this.
Hold my bear.
Drivers would tweak their engines and auto bodies. They'd memorize their routes so they could drive at night without headlights and escape law enforcement. Eventually, bootlegging started losing more and more value, so these drivers started turning to the one thing they knew best: racing. Driving fast. I want to drive fast. You ever seen Talladega Nights?
Fast. I want to go fast.
I want to go fast.
I was high when I told you that, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky, you're my best friend. You're my best friend.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby. Dude, I love that movie. That's probably one of the best things to come out of NASCAR is Talladega Nights.
That movie's like whiskey. It's terrible, but it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it's so bad for you, but I love it going down.
Yeah.
It's like that and Cars. Pixar's Cars.
Yeah.
I think the second best thing to come out of NASCAR.
Yeah.
Except for maybe actual NASCAR. But
Wow. I can't believe that's Owen Wilson.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy's Mater.
Didn't know that.
You might give me a ride on one of them fancy helicopters.
That's pretty accurate.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Okay. Just imagine Chris looking in the mirror, practicing that for hours.
Practicing my Mater voice. Mater and Sally. No. McQueen and Sally sitting in a tree. It's like Larry the Cucumber almost. This eventually turned into racing each other. Basically, like, guys trying to figure out who's the fastest bootlegger.
Yeah.
Now, we introduce one of our main characters. You're going to understand why here by the end of this story. In 1935, a man named Bill France Sr. moved his family from Washington, D.C. to Daytona, Florida. Daytona was already a popular land speed racetrack, but would soon be abandoned because it had been too worn. It was a dirt track. Basically, over time, it had just become too rutted, so people couldn't really do like land speed records there anymore because they would crash and die. So, not optimal.
Right.
So people were leaving. He was a big fan of automobiles, grew up racing his family's Model T before his dad got home from work. There in Daytona, he built a repair shop, the 316 Main Street Station, which is still in existence today and used as like a music venue.
Okay.
Maybe you could perform there. That'd be cool.
Maybe. One day.
Maybe, I don't know if the NASCAR fan base is huge fan. Of course they are. They like rap.
Yeah.
It's pretty a diverse crowd.
It's true. I imagine
It's
lots
actually
of
mostly
country.
white trash, but maybe what's like country rap, like Kid Rock. Kid Rock.
Kid
though.
Rock,
That's
yeah.
not really rap. I don't even know what Kid Rock makes.
I don't either.
All I know
He's
is
been on some rap songs though.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him.
I don't
Anyway,
either.
in March 1936, one racer named Sig Hogdahl, crazy last name, promoted a race there sponsored by the city. This, it was a disaster. It didn't go well. Sedans used in the race got stuck on the corners, and there was some unjust scoring from the judges and promoters. Kind of like Biden's election.
Yeah.
Yeah. The city ended up losing $20,000 in the event, which, I mean, even today is a good chunk of change, but back then was like,
bro, it's a lot of money. Yeah.
a lot. Hogdahl and France met and coordinated another race for Labor Day weekend in 1937. This one went much better than last time, but still lost money. Hogdahl quit. He had enough of it. France took over the track in 1938, held many races, which he competed in until 1942. So he fixed it up. He got it working, and things started going better. Until 1942, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. So it kind of threw a wrench into the works there. A lot of racing didn't continue until after the war, during which France worked on the docks. Once over, though, he transitioned from racing to promoting. So he left behind the driving bit and he just became a promoter. Like getting races set up and bringing racers in, that sort of deal. He also liked building racetracks. He built let's see if I can pronounce this correctly, the Okonichi Speedway, located in Hillsborough, North Carolina in 1947. Once the war ended, France noticed an issue with organized racing. Drivers were... What? I already said... Okay, so I mixed my notes up a little bit here, I just realized, and I have like two things talking about when the war ended. Let's just say around that same time, France, not the country, the man, Bill France, noticed an issue with organized racing. Drivers were often not paid by promoters who would basically just run off with the money right after the race was over instead of paying the racers afterwards. So,
Dude,
some employee dissatisfaction.
Like back then, you could just probably get away with that.
Yeah.
They can't find you.
No. You're already like across the country promoting another race.
They do look in the phone book. Like, no
one of those like
GPS,
phone booths flipping through a book trying to find this guy's number.
You're not finding him.
Gosh, no, I can imagine.
Quite literally just taking your money and running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That left the good promoters who just had trouble coordinating events. At this point, France had created his first racing organization known as the NCSCC, the National Championship Stock Car Circuit. Their motto was, "We're the fastest that run the fastest."
we're the fastest that run.
Run the fastest.
Run the fastest.
You get to go fast. I want to go fast.
I want to go fast.
I want to go fast. Many other groups existed, like the ASCRA, American Stock Car Racing Association. And this one's pretty cool. I like this one. The Stock Car Auto Racing Society, a.k.a. SCARS.
Scars.
That's pretty metal.
It is.
That's pretty
hard.
punk rock. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. The main problem with this was they all had conflicting point systems. That meant like unbalanced matchmaking for the racers. So like if one racer wanted to go from like the ASCRA to SCARS, they like it barely worked because like the standards that they had like been racing on were completely different now. So it just like caused problems for promoters and racers alike. Quote from an ESPN article. This is a long one. Every one of those series employed their own convoluted points systems, and every rule book was different, but none of that mattered because rules were essentially unenforceable. A spaghetti pile of names and cars run by an unintelligible alphabet soup of sanctioning bodies ensured constant chaos that allowed shady track promoters to rob racers blind and kept any would-be race fan from having any clue as to who, what, and where they should be watching. Did that track at all?
A little bit.
That was a lot. Okay, so it was a mess. It didn't work. So on December 14th, 1947, Bill France, initiated meetings with drivers and promoters in the Ebony Bar Room at the Streamline Hotel in Daytona, Florida. This is where it really starts to pick up. Streamline Hotel, for anybody who knows anything about the origins of NASCAR, that's a big name. That means a lot.
Okay.
Many were present at times, like racers like Junior Johnson, I mentioned earlier, and Curtis Turner, I also mentioned earlier. Most of the people present were bootleg runners or moonshine titans, even, but didn't want anybody to know, so that part was kept hush-hush. For 4 days, they met and discussed terms and conditions like the need for a universal set of rules and regulations. Later, on February 21st, 1948, finally, they formed the organization known as
NASCAR.
NASCAR. You're a genius.
Uncle
That's
Fats.
freaking genius.
Dude, imagine like how they figured out like what speed to go and the degree of turn, and like how many people do you think were just hauling
A lot of crashes
like,
had to happen before.
Just around the track way too fast, flying into the wall. Like how many of those people had to be like the guinea pig before they figured out, okay, you got to take the turn at this speed, at this angle. You got people, other drivers around you, like, oh my gosh.
Just watching somebody careen into the wall, like, oh, okay, that didn't work. Check that one off the list.
Dude, that's like, I always wonder this, like how they came up with speed limits, right? Because like, say you're driving on a highway or a freeway somewhere on like a top of a mountain or cliff, hill, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's this big corner. And even if there's, barricade, no barricade, it's like, say it's 65. Like kind of when you're going down to, like Lewiston, there's that like swoogity up on the hill. You can see like the river and stuff. Yeah. Like who came up with 65? Kind of similar situation. Like was like, dude went 90 and just flew off the cliff. And they're like, all right, no, can't go.
You see that car down there? That guy went 90.
Like 65.
Yeah, I don't know either. Because like this street out here, it goes from like 45 to 35 after one traffic light. I don't like know why. I guess because there's like a lot of houses at the 35, but there's like houses at the like residential areas at the 45 too. So I don't really know how that works.
That's weird. It's weird because like parts of Prairie are like 45, 50.
Yeah.
Which are next to tons of neighborhoods.
Exactly.
And like down here, I guess you have a lot of the apartments and the roundabouts and
that's true.
stuff. But
then,
like, who came up with that? Who had to go around the roundabout at 75?
You had to skid into a ditch for y'all to figure that out.
Yeah.
It's like those like stretches of highway in Montana where the speed limit's like 85 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That's fun.
Yeah.
It was like, did anybody go faster than that and you had to like bring it down? Or
probably
were you sick and tired of people going too slow? Probably not that.
I always wonder. It's like, who
Mystery
came
of the
up
universe.
with 65?
We'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never. That's not something we can just look up. Or
There's like some roads where if it turns, you know, like
I need a
full
Jamie.
UE, like 65 makes sense. Like, okay, I think if I pushed past 65, it'd be dangerous. But most of the time, you can do more than the speed limit and you're fine. So how fast were they going when they figured it out? They'd be going so fast. Think about NASCAR, dude. These guys are going hundreds of miles an hour next to other cars.
Like, yeah,
how many
like-
trial and errors until they came up with the system they have today, where you have hundreds of racers in unison going around a circle at 200 miles an hour perfectly.
Hey, that's where we get those cool YouTube crash compilations from. Those are awesome.
Gosh.
Oh yeah. So, do you know what NASCAR stands for?
No.
Just take a guess. I want to see if you can guess it. I want to see if you get close.
NASCAR. National Association.
Yes, yes.
Wait. Speed.
No.
National Association. Give me the S. Give me the S.
Stock.
National Association Stock.
Or National Association for Stock.
Cars and Recreation? I don't know.
It's a fun leisurely activity. No, it stands for the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing.
Okay.
NASCAR.
NASCAR.
It would be divided into modified, roadster, and stock races. Roadster races were very unpopular, and eventually modified and stock sort of merged into that stock cars were allowed to be modified to an extent for safety and performance. I.e. like roll cages, suspension, interiors being stripped and suited for racing, engines and chassis being modified for more horsepower, stuff like that. Over the next 5 years, the sport became increased. I just realized I've not been in front of my microphone almost this entire time.
I haven't even noticed.
Yeah,
I can still hear you fine.
that's good.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
It'll only get better. Or it'll get worse.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
You ever get like worse at something the more you do it?
I feel like that's your mind being self-critical.
Psyching yourself out.
Like, yeah. Because I feel like maybe you just get a higher standard in your own head where you're like, I know what I'm capable of. So if I perform lower than that, I feel like I've gotten worse or declined in my skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm that way with golf.
Dude, I suck at golf.
Me neither. Because I just gave up. But like I'll go to the driving range sometimes because my brother does.
Okay.
My brother plays for his school. He's pretty good.
Nice.
So yeah, it's at least there's one in the family. But like we'll go to the driving range sometimes together, and I'll be like racking a ball, I'll get like a few good swings, and then like the rest of my swings are just awful.
Yeah.
I'm like hitting the roof overhead and like sending shots completely horizontal to me or perpendicular to me.
Dude, golf's so mechanical. It's like baseball. It's all like body mechanics, positioning, and yeah. Yeah, golf's hard. I've always sucked at golf. I have so many friends that love it. They do it all the time. I just like, you want to go golfing? I'm like, spend $50.
I'll drive the golf cart for
get
you.
mad.
That sounds fun.
The golf carts that sound fun. Yeah. Yeah, but just the whole, I can't.
My wife went with her friend. She likes playing golf. Not my wife, but my wife's friend likes playing golf.
Yeah.
And she invited her, and my wife was like, "Yeah, I'll just drive the golf cart for you, hang out the whole time." That's what she did. She just like drove the golf. She was like her friend's caddy, and like while her friend was golfing, she just sit in the golf cart and read a book. I was like, "Oh, that actually sounds
pretty fun. I could do that.
Nice.
I could definitely do that.
I could too.
Yeah.
Just like hang outside with your buddies, let them golf, and you be their chauffeur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, the driving range is like, you'll hit 100 off the tee, and for me, it's like 3 of them are decent. 3 of them, you're like, I hit that good,
That
you know,
feels
and
good.
then the rest, it's like, well, I have no idea what I'm doing.
But you only remember the bad ones.
Yeah, dude. Like I would like with the driver and just send it down the line. Like I'd slice it that way towards everybody. My first time at the driving range, I was with like 2 of my buddies who were like relatively seasoned at golf. They knew what they were doing. I had never been. And one of my first shots sliced down the line of where the tees are. So you got like 15 people, ball goes right by their face, dude. Fort. Yeah. Golf's one of those things
Send
where
somebody
I
to
feel
the
like,
hospital.
yeah, I feel like it's one of those sports where, like, most people suck at it. Even the ones who invest the money and the time, like, they know they're not that great. Like my dad, he loves golf, but he's always like, I'm terrible at golf. He's better than he gives himself credit for, but like, he knows he's not great. But he'll still go do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it.
I mean, it's fun. Like, it's a pretty, like, I guess, like, easy sport in the sense that it's not super, like, physically taxing.
Right.
Like, you can do it if you're not in the best shape.
Right.
It's like bowling.
Yeah.
Except
Unless your
bowling,
hands
you
are
can,
too
like,
fat.
eat nacho. And no, they make bowling balls for fat people, too.
I bet you they do.
It's a very accessible sport.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No fat shaming.
Or no, it's like bowling. Are you like, do you put all your fingers in the holes, or do you like
2? These 2?
just 2? Yeah, same.
Those
I like being
2.
able to have my thumb to put like a little bit of spin on it.
Okay.
Not that it helps. I still suck, but I just like the feeling. Yeah. Sometimes I'll go double hand because then I can like really like twist it, like you know, like that. What is it? Like the Goku like Super Saiyan Kamehameha,
yeah.
But with a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And I just straight into the gutter.
Yeah, dude, I have buddies who, one of them's lefty, the other one's righty, but they can freaking do that curve. Like, and it lands right on the gutter and then just spins to the middle pin. Every time. It's ridiculous.
Dude, I wish I had that level of autism. That would be amazing. I would kill to have autism. That would be, maybe I do actually.
You might. On the spectrum.
I have too much of a fascination with like things that I get into. Like I lean weight like this now, or like anything that I like. If I'm gonna do something new, I will like research it like it's my living.
Okay.
Just to change a light bulb or something like that.
Honestly, I'm the same way. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, information nowadays is so accessible. So,
oh, yeah. Just easy Google search for everything.
Yeah, a little YouTube video.
I love YouTube.
A little Reddit post.
Reddit. I've been on Reddit heavy lately.
Like Quora.
Quora's awesome.
Yeah.
I hate it when they ask you to sign up for it, but I do like
That's why I have Reddit, yeah.
Yeah.
I have the app now. It's bad. I used to just go on Google. I didn't know there was an app. People have accounts, and upvotes and downvotes and reposts. I do too.
I got it to try to like advertise, like guerrilla advertise this thing on there.
Yeah.
And that's not really panning out.
Gotcha.
I did get a collab on there. It's just, Reddit is such a cesspool of it's a awful wasteland on the internet, dude. Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Either like make you laugh, cry, rage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
did get a collab on there though. There's like a Reddit for like podcasters looking. It's just like a podcasting network Reddit.
Nice.
And I went on there and I met a guy named Kevin Chu who hosts the Fishbowl podcast. It's like a brand new podcast. Dude, we so I collabed with him. I went on his. We did like a little video call.
Nice.
And a little while after that, I texted him like, "Hey, dude, you want to send me like once you're done editing it all, you want to send me like the link and stuff, and I can plug it on my socials and stuff, and we can like keep trying to like build this thing up. And he's like, yeah, sure, dude. I'll like, as soon as I'm done with everything, I'll send it to you. And that was like a month ago, and I have not heard back from him since. It's been total radio silence. Dude, I got so excited about this like collab. I was like, this is it. I'm going to make it. I found a guy to network with. We're going to create our own podcast network, and we're going to like blow this thing up. And like just radio silence.
Hasn't replied at all?
I have no idea what's happening to this guy. Cool dude. I like talking to him. We talked for like almost 2 hours. It was a lot of fun.
Right on.
I definitely want to go back on if it's not just a total flop. But
yeah, I mean, you might be editing it. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Maybe like accidentally deleted it.
That would
it
suck.
Just doesn't have the
Maybe he
heart to
just like listened back to it and was like, yeah, this whole episode sucks. I'm gonna scrap it. Which is fair, honestly. That's fair enough. I wouldn't blame him. But yeah, I'm hoping he's still at it. He's a cool dude. I definitely think he has a good idea. He's like an interview style podcast. So he told me I was his first guest, which was pretty cool. And I guess he had like an author lined up after me, and he was trying to get some other people. But like, from what it sounds like, he wants to try to interview like every sort of person, like no discrimination. Like he's open to like interviewing like prison inmates, like people in for like serious stuff, or like full-on white supremacists. I was telling him like, dude, I'm from North Idaho. I could probably find you one.
I could plug you, bro. Yeah.
I could plug you, dude. But yeah, I mean, it was fun, but I have not heard from him since. So I'm just sort of hoping that it pulls through.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I got a piece so bad.
Yeah, we can pause for a second.
I was always wearing sunglasses inside.
His $25,000 sunglasses. Yeah. All right, we're back from our potty break.
It was a good one.
It was a very good one. You look good in those aviators.
Thank you.
Are those yours?
No.
Okay, they look like mine. Yeah, it's like those look really familiar. Hey, they look good on you. They look good on you.
Are these the ones you're wearing in your profile picture on Instagram?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, my fishing picture.
I was like, those are the infamous glasses. I have to.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, they look much better on you. You look like I feel like whenever you see a guy with sunglasses on a podcast, it's definitely about to get very right-wingy.
Oh, dude.
We may go there.
Yeah, I just winked, but you probably couldn't.
No. Too cool to see that. Dude, where were we even? Oh, yeah. What NASCAR stands for, National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. It would be divided into modified roadster stock races. Oh, yeah. Okay. So over the next 5 years, the sport became increasingly popular and successful, attracting huge crowds. France knew they would need larger tracks to house the events, and on April 4th, 1953, he proposed the construction of a super speedway. It's super, called Daytona International Speedway, a 2.5-mile racetrack that was finished in 1956 and hosts the premier event of NASCAR, the Daytona 500. That's the biggie.
I have heard of that.
Yeah. I think it's also a little infamous because of something bad that happened there. We'll talk about that in a minute. France, he built a lot of other tracks, including the Talladega Superspeedway in 1969. Go fast. The best movie of all time, or at least the best Will Ferrell movie, in my opinion.
I agree.
Talladega Nights. Yeah. Gosh, I could not stop talking about that movie.
Dude, I've seen it. There's certain movies I've seen 10 plus times. That's one of them. I've seen that movie so many times. That's a movie where like you just throw it on
and watch it the whole way.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, that's a movie so like funny. You're just sitting there and you're just getting work done on your computer and just throw it on.
Love that scene. He like comes home after he like comes home from the hospital, and like his friend Chip Is that his name? I can't remember. But he's got he's cut all his faces out of the family photos and taped his his wife walks up, I want a divorce. You're not a winner anymore. Talladega Superspeedway, 1969. Later, NASCAR was divided into 3 separate series to divide levels. The lowest, number 3, the lowest being the Truck Series. The second is the Xfinity Series, and the first being the Cup Series, like the Piston Cup.
Yeah.
He did what in his cup? It's a little Cars reference. I also love those movies.
Good movies, man.
I do watch them. What am I saying? I would watch them. I think I not binged, but marathoned all 3 of those movies and the Planes movies last year. I'm a grown man, and I did that on my own.
Never too old for Cars.
No. It's a work of art, dude.
Never too old for a Disney movie. I don't care what anybody says, man.
Yes, I mean, the same way.
Yeah.
At least most of them.
Yeah.
Junior Johnson went on to win 50 Cup Series races before retiring and becoming an owner. He also served as a crew chief for a season. Other racers like Richard Petty won over 200 Cup Series races.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and others like Jimmy Johnson and the well-known, here's the one racer everybody knows, Dale Earnhardt.
Raise Dale. Praise Dale.
Amen. Anyway, he and Jimmy Johnson are tied with 7 championship wins each. Though sadly, heartbreaking to rednecks everywhere, Earnhardt died in a tragic final lap collision in February of 2001 during the Daytona 500.
That's a movie scene.
Yes.
Unfortunate one, but
One of the tragic crashes to happen that year.
yeah. Last lap of the Daytona.
Yeah.
Greatest driver at the time.
I think probably the most tragic crash to happen in 2001.
Were there others?
The worst tragedy to strike this country in 2001. The loss of Dale Earnhardt. Just like we wish those planes did.
Just over. Yeah.
Never forget Dale Earnhardt.
So far over my head, it's in the satellites, dude. That took 15 seconds. I was
It's reached the moon. I just keep looking at you. Why is he looking at me like that? I don't get it. Let me fix my mic here a little bit. There we go. That's much better. Since Earnhardt's death, more measures have been taken to ensure driver safety, and no fatal crashes have taken place since 2001.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
What?
Nobody's died in a NASCAR race. I mean, there's been bad crashes, there's been injuries, but nobody's died.
Okay.
We still get good compilations on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. But they live.
They live, so you can feel good about watching it.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. I know it's totally separate, but I wonder about Formula One. Because I know that stuff's very extreme.
Yeah. I feel like that's... Actually, I don't know which one has more wrecks.
Probably Formula One. I have a buddy who's really into it. He'll wake up at 4 a.m. on a Sunday to watch it live.
Like a European race.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Dude, he's diehard. More credit to him. That's cool. But, yeah, I mean, they're in a 1-seater crotch rocket.
Pretty much. Yeah, dude, they're taking corners at 80 miles per hour.
Dude.
200 on the straightaway, 200 plus.
And they're going so fast that when they catch air, the car just goes. It just takes off.
It's built like a plane. It's like wings.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's terrifying to me. I would love to sit in the passenger seat of a NASCAR.
That'd be fun.
On do a few laps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Formula One, I don't think so.
Yeah,
my neck would probably break.
Have to strap you down to the spoilers. There's only one seat.
Hit the first corner, my head just goes, snaps.
Yeah, dude.
Intense, the worst whiplash ever.
I wonder if their helmet protects them from that. Because
it
comes down to their shoulder, so they can't,
Yeah, the seats are I know the seats are built in a way that like keeps their heads from being able to just, you know, like snap their necks pretty much. But it's literally like a rocket.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Dude, have you seen Ford v Ferrari?
No.
With Christian Bale and Matt Damon and others.
What is that?
It's based on a true story. Bale plays a like just everyday Joe mechanic, and Matt Damon starts working for Ford. They want to develop the Ford GT, make a car that can compete against Ferrari, and Bale ends up being one of the drivers for some of the races. And some of the races at the time they were doing, I don't know if it's still this way, I don't think it is, but they'd be like a 24-hour race. So they rotate drivers like every 8 hours.
Dang.
Around these crazy dangerous like tracks with like no protection. And a really good movie if you had seen it. Really good. Even if you're like not into the whole racing thing, I thought it was really good.
No, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds like it'd be a good podcast episode.
Yeah, dude. Bale does such a good American. It's crazy. He's a Brit.
A good American accent. The same guy. The same thing with that guy who plays Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead.
I can't think of his name.
That guy's British, I know, and he like does like a perfect Georgian accent. Carl.
Yeah, dude.
Carl.
Dude, it's nuts. Those guys can do that. Like I didn't even know Bale was a Brit until I looked him up after watching like the first Batman trilogy. I was like, he's British. What?
Who does he play in Batman?
Batman.
Oh. I don't know. Celebrities.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Where is she? Who does he play? Batman. You idiot.
Bruce Wayne, yeah.
The main character. I've never seen... I think I've watched one Batman movie all the way through.
We're done here.
Well, this has been fun. It's World Canon. You can
really
join us next week.
You've only seen one?
Yeah. I can't even remember which one. I think Dark Knight Rises. Okay, which one is the one where like Bane and all his Goonies like blow up the stadium and they
That's
take over
the
the
Dark Knight
underworld?
Rises.
Okay.
That's the third in the trilogy.
I've seen that one.
Okay. You didn't watch the first two with Bale? Bale did 3. Because it was Clooney before that.
I don't know, man. Batman's never been my thing. DC, period, has never been my thing.
Dude, I watched Aquaman 2 last night.
Is it good?
Don't waste your time.
Oh.
The visuals and the cinematics look nuts. Like one of the coolest movies I've seen visually, the CGI and all that stuff. But talk about corny, bro. Oh my gosh. Like
I've heard like DC is beating Disney in like their diversity hires. Like they're
probably
like just switching up movies and
But dude, the Batman series is good. There's
sure, yeah.
Watch I would start with Batman Begins, which is the first with Bale. It like details him going from, you know, his parents' death when he was younger to becoming Bruce Wayne and Batman and a vigilante training. And then the second one, The Dark Knight, is with Joker, Heath Ledger. Great movie. Okay. And then the third one's with Tom Hardy as Bane. But all 3 of them, dude, me and my buddies watched all 3 in the same night.
That's
in this past summer.
Are they like 2.5 hour movies or something? That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Spent like almost 8 hours. We took breaks and like went outside, stretched, ordered some food, but we watched all 3 in the same night.
Just looked at the stars for a little bit.
Well, dude, it was a Saturday. We had Sunday off, so we started the first movie at like 6, and then it was like 8:30, and we're like, should we just throw on the second? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Boom. And the next thing you know, it's like, should we
gotta
go on the third? We got to do it. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I like doing stuff like that sometimes. I like recently, I wouldn't say forced, but I forced my wife to watch all the Lord of the Ring movies and the Hobbit movies over the past couple weeks. And she got the wonderful privilege. I wish I could go back in time and do that. I wish I could like Men in Black, like flash myself and forget the movies and be able to do what we did with her. We made her watch them all the way through in chronological order, starting with The Hobbit, ending with Return of the King.
Yep.
And dude, she's been like, no, I don't want to do that. It's so nerdy. I don't like that sort of fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
within the first few minutes of the first movie, she's like, oh, this is actually not that bad. Yeah. I kind of like this. And then by Return of the King, you know the ending? You know how like the ending's kind of sad, you know, Frodo leaves and all that? I look over at her, and just like me, the first time I saw it, she's just like crying, tears streaming down her face. I'm like, yes, we got her. We got her. Ladies and gentlemen, we got her.
Dude, it's so good. I had the same like prejudice against those movies. I was like, like it's kind of sci-fi nerdy. Like I just never watched them growing up. And my buddy who I worked with at Empower, he looked at me when I said that. He's like, seriously? You've never seen them?
You've never seen
like
the Lord of the Rings?
Dude, like the way I looked at you and you said you hadn't seen Batman, like that times 10.
With the aviators and everything.
Yeah. So, so what do you know? Over the course of like 3 days, we watched all 3 of them. I still haven't seen the extendeds, which I need to do. But we watched like the original cut and I really enjoyed them. Super good.
Yeah.
Super good.
Dude, they're awesome movies. Okay. Real quick, but we'll get to the actual story. Here in a second, but which one do you like more? Lord of the Rings trilogy or the Hobbit trilogy?
Probably Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But you need the Hobbit. You need it to understand so much of what happens and like the history and
the backstory and all that. Like how did Bilbo get the ring, and then why is like Eredor important, and then
100%.
like who are these characters?
Yeah.
But like movie wise, like cinematically wise, like the Hobbit looks cool because they have all the CGI and stuff, but
dude,
like
the perspective shots of how like small they are, it's crazy.
Sick. It's sick. But Lord of the Rings just like feels cooler.
It just it's one of those movies where I feel like you could not really like sci-fi that much and you'd like it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, it's so different from everything.
For fantasy, yeah.
It's got like this medieval wizard, like Harry Potter-esque, like it's so different. There's nothing out there really like Lord of the Rings.
Do you know what dark fantasy is? Like that style. Have you ever seen the movie Willow? It's like an old fantasy Disney movie. That's dark fantasy. It's like or The Dark Crystal. You ever seen that movie? Awesome movie. So good. It's all puppets. They made a show. Netflix made a show recently. It's like a prequel to it, and it uses all puppets, like no CGI and stuff like that, and it looks like CGI, but it's puppets. It's really cool. Anyway, that's dark fantasy. It's like you look that up, that's like dark fantasy style. That's kind of like what the Lord of the Rings reminds me of, and that's sort of like that dreamy kind of cozy movie feeling, whereas like the Hobbit is super modern and CGI, and it's cool, but it doesn't feel the same.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that nerd crap. Let's get back to NASCAR. So we've been going for a while, but that's okay. I kind of want these types of episodes to go longer.
Yeah,
because like my normal series I'm doing right now, the Grant versus Lee, that's like maximum 40 minutes. It's like 25 to 40 minutes, just depending on what I'm covering. These ones where I'm like doing it with like a guest or something, I want to go for like 2 hours if we can.
Yeah, dude.
I want these.
Oh, yeah.
I need listening time. I need people to be listening for a long time. I want to get sponsors, dude.
Yeah.
I want freaking NordVPN, MeUndies. What's the other one? Bespoke Post.
Yeah.
BetterHelp. I don't care who you
by
are.
Raid Shadow Legends.
This is brought to you by. I was gonna say the blue pill. Yeah. I think my demographic doesn't really need those yet.
Yeah,
they're all
a little young.
Yeah, the oldest one, even he's still like, he's a healthy buck. He's a young stud.
Buck.
Yeah, he's a buck. He's a buck of a man. You know who
buck.
You know who
Rufus
you are.
Buck.
You know who you are. His name begins. Actually, I won't say. I'll keep him guessing.
Do I know him?
He was at the wedding, but very briefly.
Okay.
He was only at the ceremony.
Oh, I know who it is.
You know who it is?
Have we hung out? Because if we have, I know. But if not,
no.
Then I don't.
I don't know. I doubt you met him.
Yeah, I don't know that.
He was probably in the back. He's got kids. That's gonna give it away immediately. But
yeah.
Anyways, that might be an awkward conversation with him later next time I see him. talking about how he doesn't need the blue pill. Ooh,
Hey,
yeah, I
maybe
didn't
he's
really
on the
think about
red
that.
pill. I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude, it's North Idaho. We're all red pill.
Have you seen The Matrix?
Which one is the good one? Which one's the bad one?
Have you seen The Matrix?
No.
We're done here. Dude. Actually,
Should I?
I've actually only seen the original, the first one. There's 3 they made like back to back, and then there's the newest one. But the first one, the OG, is really good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Really good.
I feel like the sequels to something like that isn't great. I mean, the only Keanu Reeves movie I've seen is like I can't even remember what. Okay, I feel like such an idiot. John Wick, but like John Wick 1 or 2, and I was really young.
Have you seen them all?
You're about to- We're done. I guess I got a lot of movies to catch up on.
Yeah, you got to make a list.
Yeah.
This is how I am with my fiance. We literally have a list that
Same.
we've made since we've met, because we would have this same interaction. Be like, "Oh yeah, this movie," and she's like, "I've never seen that." I'm like, "Put it on the list."
Dude, I have the same thing with my wife. Let me pull ours up, see what we have on there.
Dude, ours is like 100, I think, or like at least 80, and then like 10, 15 TV shows, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah, so far we have like Interstellar and Peanut Butter Falcon are the first 2 on this
I haven't
list.
seen Peanut Butter Falcon, but I've heard it's good.
So good. I love that movie. That movie,
Watch it.
I like watching that movie when I feel homesick because like
Okay.
it's like it's in the Carolinas, but like the Carolina Keys, and it looks like where I grew up in Florida.
Okay.
I love
right
it.
on. Yeah.
Everybody sounds the same and like looks the same, and it's awesome. There's just trash in people's front yards. It feels like home. Like I love seeing a yard with just like junk strewn everywhere, like cars up on center blocks, a generator hanging from the tree, just like Slim Jim wrappers and cigarette cartons all over the front porch.
Where
That is
did you grow up?
the freaking boondocks, the southern ghetto.
Yeah.
It was amen, baby.
Dude, I haven't been like that far south, but southern ghetto's different. Like in Texas, it's different. It's way different than California. California is just like gross.
Yeah.
Just homeless, trash everywhere in yards. But Texas is like, it's like okay.
Yeah.
People don't.
I mean, even
care. It's like it's so weird.
so laid back. Even the homeless there seem like a different type of home, like
Way
the
different.
magic homeless.
Way different.
Like
over
the
there.
homeless there are like secretly like wizards, like Gandalf,
Yeah.
like friendly homeless,
Yeah.
and they might be able to like grant you a wish or something.
Yeah. Yeah. The homeless in California. Is
I can't see your
different.
eyes through your sunglasses, but I feel like you're looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about?
Oh.
here?
No, dude, it's on topic. It's on topic. No. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. You grew up in Pensacola, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. God, it sounds like a wasteland, bro. It sounds like Mad Max.
I mean, pretty much. At least when I was there, I've been back a couple times, like in the past few years, and it's like they put in a new Navy Federal, like corporate compound, like
Okay.
I can't remember the word I'm thinking of, but like a big like corporate office for Navy Federal Bank. So that's like brought a lot of money to the area, and there's like a whole bunch of like commerce and infrastructure popping up. So it's improved a bit, but like Pensacola is that type of place too. Like it's barely even Florida. Like it's so close to Alabama, you might as well be Alabama. Because like when people
Gotcha.
hear Florida, you think like, what do you think? You think like Orlando and like Miami and the Everglades and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pensacola is like Mobile, Alabama, or
Okay.
just like Southern Alabama. There's more Alabama fans than there are Dolphins fans.
Gotcha.
It's an interesting place.
Yeah.
I do miss it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
A couple of really big Christian schools down there. There's like PCC is a big like Christian college, and
Okay.
PCA is like a big Christian high school, and so very Bible belty.
Okay. Nice.
But like Southern Bible Belt is a strange term. There's some people that believe some weird stuff.
I bet there is.
yeah,
man. Yeah.
People would call themselves Baptists, but they're like, this is our witch festival, and we we do it because Jesus told our pastor in his dreams.
I believe it.
All right, let's get into the rest of this. So racing, unlike other sports, operates on a more individual level. Basically, each racer is like a team, whereas other sports players, like individual players, make up a team. This also means each racer and their crew is sort of a business. They work through different promoters and sponsors, just like a business would.
Right.
But on an individual level instead of teams. I mean, that's just like a very sugared down, mellow breakup of it. Very like crash coursey description. But what would you say is one of the most recognizable aesthetics when it comes to NASCAR? Well, what's like when you hear NASCAR, like picture NASCAR, what do you think of in terms of like the sport and the people who participate in it, like the racers?
Talladega Nights.
Talladega.
No,
it's a running theme in this episode.
I think of a big track,
Yeah.
big stadium around it, green grass in the middle,
Uh-huh.
fans going crazy, dudes holding the flags, super loud motors, gasoline, tire smoke, fast car.
Okay, cars. What about the cars? What do you notice about the cars?
They look plastic.
They do, but
They look like a toy
on them.
on them.
What's all over them?
Oh, stickers.
Stickers.
Yeah, dude.
Sponsors.
It's like soccer teams.
Like I
But
want.
on steroids.
Sponsors. And what about the racers themselves? Those tracksuits they wear, the jackets? What's all over those?
Sponsors. Yeah.
Sponsors, patches, stickers.
Yeah.
You name it. Galore. The cars and the jackets, they're covered in patches and stickers with different sponsors. Why does NASCAR and racing in general have all this and other sports don't? Really? Like, think about it. Like, soccer teams, football teams, they have sponsors. You'll see sponsors on the stadium. You'll see sponsors pop up on screen, but they're not wearing sponsors on their jerseys.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess other sports are like they don't have a salary cap in like the MLB. So guys just make so much money off their salary. They wouldn't maybe need that as much as I don't know what like a NASCAR driver makes, but I'm sure from all the sponsors they get, they probably make a really good chunk of money from that. So they probably don't have, I wouldn't imagine they have massive salaries. Because think of like an average football player that is like a bench warmer or barely sees the field, makes a minimum of $500,000 a year.
Yeah. I mean, you make a pretty good point there. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So like,
Okay.
basically on the frame of like each player, or I guess each racer is like a team along with their crew and all that, and therefore a company within NASCAR. Sponsors have the ability to, instead of like paying money to sponsor NASCAR as a whole, which they still can, but like that's super expensive compared to buying a square inch patch to put on a racer's shoulder, or like to buy the hood of a racer's car. And then every time that racer is on screen, like they show a picture of him on screen when they're talking about him, they show his car as it's going around the track.
Yep.
Especially if that racer does well, that's more and more of your logo being seen on screen. That's more advertisement you're getting for a cheaper price than like buying a billboard at a racetrack.
Yeah.
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 So in the 1960s and 70s, racers started selling like more. This idea stemmed from, I mean, it's all over racing. It's in F1 too. It's in like other stock car racings. It's in like derby racing. Like everybody does it. But it sort of in the 60s and 70s when it started to take off, people were like, hey, I can make a little bit more money by like selling some space on literally just my jacket that I wear to protect me from like flames if I crash or the wind.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Yeah. Ricky, you're not on fire.
They're imaginary flames, Ricky. Just selling patches that they could make extra money, and sponsors could get the sponsor space they want for much lower prices. And that trend sort of took off from there. And nowadays people look like a walking tabloid. You know, like those, like the junk mail that you get sometimes. It's just like coupons and ads all over it. Just one of those walking around.
Don't they all have like a main sponsor though?
Yeah.
Because I know,
a lot
like,
of them do. Like, there's that
like
one
Danica
racer.
Patrick's like GoDaddy.com or used to be or whatever, you know. And I know a lot of them have like the one main.
Yeah, there's that
sponsor.
like racer sponsored by Lowe's. There's
Like
Andy.
Napa Auto Parts, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola would be an awesome sponsor. I would love to be sponsored by Coca-Cola.
I would say Diet Coke on it because #health, but you know.
No, dude, I will take the money.
Yeah.
I will sell that.
Yeah.
I'm a greedy. I shouldn't say that actually. I'm not. I would say take care of yourself. Drink this responsibly. Yeah. Dude, how crazy would it be to be sponsored by like a major corporation? Like forget the other wonderful businesses that I'd love to be sponsored by on this podcast. Let's say you like sponsored by just like Pepsi.
Yeah.
Like this episode of World Canon is brought to you by Pepsi.
Yeah.
It's so
Just have a 24-pack
fun.
and cool it right there. Just
Dude, I actually have such a good idea for one of these episodes. Do you ever hear about how Pepsi gave away a fighter jet?
no.
That's a real thing that happened in the 80s. We're going to put a pin in that.
Yeah.
And if you ever come back, we might cover that.
I'll be back.
Sweet. I really hope you do.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a co-host, man. I would like one.
Dude.
So, you know, if you want to come back on a regular basis, if you find ladies and gentlemen, mainly just gentlemen, it's only guys that listen to this. It's a bit of a bro fest. But if you like this guy here, let me know, and we'll bring him back. And if not, I don't care. I'm still going to have him back.
Yeah, I live right down the street, so.
Perfect. Today, it is not really publicly known how much NASCAR makes per year. Kind of weird.
Interesting.
Sonic Financial, their financial company,
Dodging the IRS.
I guess, possibly, went private in 2019 and does not release yearly revenue, but the last report from 2018 was over 500 million total. So since 2019, just do the math. Think most tracks hold anywhere from 100,000 to more than 200,000. So, I mean, that alone can give you an idea of how much they make annually. Okay. If you just want to like look up average ticket prices, combine that with inflation.
Which is crazy, by the way.
On another topic, I cry every time I look at my grocery receipt. My rent didn't go up this year.
Nice.
Do you know how nice that feels? In fact, it plateaued last year, so it didn't go up. It just stuck where it was. This year, it's gone down a whole $55.
Dude, that's a trip to Applebee's. Right?
Dude, last time I went to Applebee's, I got horrendous food poisoning.
Really? What did you get?
Like the chicken avocado salad or something like that.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It was good. It tasted good, but that chicken
like it would poison
was not fully cooked. Oh, no. And like I took my wife. We were engaged at the time. We just like hanging out. We're like, hey, you want to go to Applebee's? Yeah, sure. She got fried chicken. I got that. We're hanging out. And then that night I was sending her texts like, I don't think I'm going to make it. I was like sitting on the toilet. I was doing that thing where you're like, you're on the toilet, but you also got the trash can in your lap.
It's a rough night.
All night, dude. Till like 11 a.m. the next morning. It was bad.
Damn, we had wildly different experiences. I went there growing up sometimes, not a lot. And then I think like 2 or 3 years ago, me and my fiance went. It was weird, bro. We went to the one in Boise, and we both got
Closer.
Yeah, we both got a burger and fries, and then I got a few drinks that were pretty good. But our server was like, I don't know if he was gay, but he maybe bisexual or something. But he was like very
basically gay.
He was evidently like obviously like trying to hit on my fiance right in front of me, and he like pulled up we were sitting in a booth, like imagine that's one side, that's the other. He grabbed the chair like that, flipped it backwards, sat right there and put his arms on it and was just talking to us for like 30 minutes, and he wouldn't go away. And her and I both just kept like doing that look that couples do, like, what is going on? Like, what is this guy doing?
Do I pepper spray him or do we act nice? What happens next?
And then, like when the check came,
do I
like,
blow my whistle?
like, do we tip him? Like we tipped him, but it's like,
That's interesting. I don't like super chatty waiters.
I don't either.
I think,
Unless they're cool.
yeah, unless they got a really cool
Guy was
story.
not cool.
He's kind of a
Go
loser.
away. Yeah. Dude, we spent like side note, we spent like $75
At Applebee's?
Applebee's, bro.
At Applebee's of all places, $75.
I didn't see it coming. I was like, I'm like
That's
30,
insane.
40
What did you
bucks.
get?
We both got a burger and fries. I was like 30, and then
Drinks.
tipped him 5, 10, and I got like 2 or 3 drinks, and they must have been 12 a pop.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just like, because they didn't have the price on the menu.
Yeah.
It just like there's this new like mixed. I was like, oh cool.
That's
and I
where
had
they
just
get you.
turned 21, so I was like, cool. Like I'll get a couple. And the check came. I was like, 75 at Applebee's, bro. That's crazy.
75 Washingtons for that? Bro. Dude, that's why we went to, in Seattle, we went to this place called Ascend.
Seattle.
Seattle.
That's how you said
dude.
it. Did you mean to say it that way?
I don't know. I feel like every time I say Seattle, I have to say it like a douchebag.
Seattle.
Well, it's a Seattle.
Seattle.
Anyway, there's this. By the way, talk about an absolute wasteland of a city. That place was. I don't want to say it wasn't that bad, but it was strange. I've never been to a city that big before.
Really?
Yeah, Seattle's a pretty big city.
Yeah.
We were on like the edge. We were like right next to the market, like the big market. So we were in like a nice spot of town, but you go like one street over to where there's a McDonald's and it's like a homeless camp.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
It's black and white in those cities, dude.
It's
You'll
crazy.
be in a section where you're like, dude, I think I could live here. Like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you drive 10 seconds down the road.
Like 2 blocks. And it's
fearing
like,
for your
this
life.
is, I lock the doors. Don't make eye contact with anyone.
Yeah.
Like I had fun. Like I love just walking around. But anyway, we went to a place. Had to do reservation. Dude, I should have known when I looked at the website. It's like the only way you make reservations is like a day or two in advance online. I was like, oh, this is going to be rough. It's this place called Ascend, and it's like right outside of the city actually, and it's like on the 32nd floor of this building. Beautiful view, super good view. The restaurant is gorgeous. The bathrooms, I didn't even feel like I like deserved to be in those bathrooms. They were like, this is the second we got there. I was looking in the lobby. I was like, oh, and I like went to the bathroom real quick. I was like, oh, this is about to violate me and my wallet. This place is gonna bend me over and just yank my wallet. Like this is gonna be rough, dude. The bathroom, I can barely describe it. The paper towels were like velvety. Like
silk,
like satin paper towels. The counter was like quartz marble floors. There was a giant bowl of pink Himalayan salt scrub for your hands,
dude.
They're like candles. There was like
Bougie.
a basket of like
Bougie.
cologne and breath mints and stuff by the door.
Wait, was there like a guy in the bathroom? I give you like mints and cologne.
There should have been.
Yeah.
It might as well have been, dude.
Yeah.
So that also got me kind of excited. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. The food sucked.
Really?
The food was atrocious and they barely gave you anything, which that part I expected. But I was like, we're going to get like 2 bites of food.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the best 2 bites of food I've ever had in my life. It was not. It was atrocious. And McDonald's would have been better.
Wow.
Except for dessert. Dessert was pretty good. We got like this like gelato. No, it wasn't gelato. It was like shaved ice thing. It was like this really fruity. No, sherbet. It was like really nice, high quality sherbet, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently it is, and it's good. With like some fruit and some cream on it and stuff. And then they pour like liquid nitrogen on it, so it looks like it's like still frozen and stuff. It's a gimmick, but it's a tasty gimmick.
Yeah.
It was a waste of it was a waste of $300. It was $300 for the worst food I've ever had and an okay dessert that just looked cool because it looked like it was still frozen.
But the bathrooms, dude.
And the service, I will say, it was almost to the point where it was like annoying. Like they're like so on top of it.
Yeah.
I guess they're used to like treating like really wealthy
Yeah.
to do people.
I mean, that's like
well-to-do.
the NFL of restaurants.
Dude, I was like,
People that work there are like probably the best
yeah.
in those types of environments.
Yeah, I will say, like, the people we saw there were definitely, like, they didn't own anything less than, like, a $30,000 Tesla. Like,
Yeah.
now it's like,
Yeah.
everybody drove there in, like, a Mercedes-Benz or a McLaren or something. And
They're Bentley.
yeah.
Dude, similar story. Before I moved to Portland, me and my lady went there. We actually went there for to look at the school, and then we went to a Travis Scott concert at the Moda Center where the Blazers play. And one of the nights we were there, we were looking for somewhere to go eat. Went on my phone, just pulled up maps, and there was something that said like 30th. It just said like 30th like restaurant and grill or something. And it had great reviews. Like you look at the Yelp reviews and it was like 4.9, thousands of reviews. We're like, we got to try it. I might have told you the story before. So we had my mom's car at the time as a Buick, drove to this like parking garage, and it was like, you've arrived. We were like, what? It was just a parking garage under a massive building. We were like, what the heck? So we got out, started looking around, and then I just see this like glass double doors with like the you know, like the printing they put on glass.
Yeah.
That's like that, like rough material. You know what I'm talking about? It's like kind of
It's
white,
like foggy.
yeah,
Yeah.
It just said like 30th restaurant on it. We were like, huh? So we opened it up and it just said, get in the elevator and push 30. We're like, okay.
Crazy.
Mind you,
You guys are going to get kidnapped.
We just find ourselves in the situation.
Get trafficked
Just
and
two hungry teenagers, you know.
kidneys cut out of your body.
Dude, so we get in the elevator, goes up 30 floors. It opens like a movie scene, bro. The second that thing opened, we look, there's just servers going back and forth, people in suits and ties.
You hear like
dresses.
swing jazz playing. You hear like a trumpet go.
There's a guy jamming on the piano. You can see all of the city from up there, like gorgeous. And we just looked at each other and we're like, we messed up. It's like that meme where it's like, at this moment, he knew he messed up. Like his, oh my,
I got $5,
dude. So we walk out and we kind of just like at that point just accepted our fate. We're like, we're here. Well, okay. And this server comes up to us. She's like, hi, do you guys have a reservation? We're like, no.
No.
She's like, okay, go talk to this lady over there. We might have like a spare table. Okay. Go over and talk to this lady. And dude, we're like casual dressed.
Yeah.
Like we went there for a concert and to look at a college. We're both like 18, you know. I'm wearing probably this. I don't change my style. Yeah,
it's pretty good, dude.
I'm wearing this and like a pair of Vans, and she's got on like a polo and jeans. And server sits us down at this table. We were wowed. We even got to eat there because like it's fancy. Like you got to make a reservation weeks in advance, type of thing. And it was a Friday night too. Pretty sure it was a Friday night. So we sat like super close to the windows, get to see the whole city. It was absolutely beautiful. Server was super cool. And it was under $100. It wasn't that bad. We also got the cheapest things on the menu. I got like the pork tenderloin. It was like $40. And then she got tofu, which was the cheapest thing on the menu. And it was really good.
It was actually good,
really
yeah.
It was actually really good, yeah.
It didn't suck like my lamb chops that I got at the freaking Sky High Castle that I almost...
Is that what it's
no
called?
joke.
Sky High Castle?
No, it's not.
Oh.
I legitimately almost asked for ketchup. I was like, hey, can I get some Heinz or like some hot sauce for this thing?
You got some sweet baby rays?
Dude, that would have been so good on those things. They were tender, I'll give them that. And I did order like this potato puree, which is like super dense mashed potatoes.
Okay.
That was legitimately one of the best things I've ever eaten. So that did sort of redeem the place a bit.
Okay.
But that was the only good thing we got.
Yeah.
You want to wrap this up? the story a bit?
Yeah.
Let's
Definitely.
go. Okay.
Definitely got sidetracked.
No, that's good, dude. Hey, dude, we got an hour and 43 minutes.
Nice.
A couple of minutes of that, I think, is a bathroom break, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's
Yeah.
good. And we're about done here anyways. But on June 7th, 1992, Bill France Sr., the founder and creator of NASCAR, passed away, and his ownership of the majority in stocks of NASCAR passed to his son, James France, who is on the board of directors from 2000 to the present year. On May 23rd, 2010, after its completion, Bill France, Junior Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt, along with many others responsible for helping make the sport, both in creation and helping it become so great, were inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame class of 2010.
Righteous.
Amen. It's metal. And that is the end of our story today of the creation of the greatest motorsport on earth. Probably one of the most American things in existence, most American organization at least, NASCAR, National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing.
Wow. Learned a lot.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, dude, you're like over here talking about how like Ford and Ferrari had a feud. I didn't even know about that.
Gotta
but like,
watch
hey,
it,
you know a
dude.
little bit about history too. A little bit about auto history.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. All that started from like some degenerate alcoholic old dudes that just wanted to bootleg their moonshine.
Guys in North Carolina who didn't want to pay extra money for a little bit of whiskey. They're like, I got corn and I got a little spot out in the woods and I got some copper tubing and my daddy taught me how to make moonshine. I'm going to sell this to my neighbors. And if I get caught, I go to prison.
Yeah. You know Shane Gillis?
Yeah, dude.
seen
I
his-
love him.
You seen his new special?
No, but I did see he was on SNL.
He's gonna text me. Oh, you gotta watch it, dude.
I
You'd
will.
love it.
No, I
You'd
will.
love
I
it.
love that guy.
You
He's
gotta
funny.
watch it. It's really funny.
He's sort of my one of my inspirations for this.
Okay.
He's like a history guy too. You ever listen to his podcast?
Yeah, dude.
He does a lot of history stuff. but
Super
he's
into
like-
history.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogan talked about that. He's like, you'd never know it's Shane. Like you'd think but he's super into it.
Yeah.
And he knows quite a
He's
bit.
a very like unassuming looking guy. Like
He is.
he's just somebody you pass on the street and you like look at him like, does he have Down syndrome?
a
Oh
little
no,
special?
never mind. It's like keep going. He's like, no, he's like a really funny. I mean, he's on SNL.
Yeah.
That guy kind of took off pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, not that long ago, I was watching his stuff on, like, just, like, little YouTube videos or, like, he's on Legion of Skanks and stuff. And such, I feel dirty just mentioning the name of that podcast.
Yeah.
It's so. But,
Have you seen some of the Gilliam Keefe skits?
Yes.
Dude. Have you seen the one with Trump? Where he's Trump and he does the like speed dating thing?
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Dude, I love the uncle daycare. They're like the teachers are like training them like, okay, what is the appropriate response when you see some attractive younger females? And like the one guy's like, they're all beautiful angels. It's like, that's right. like Shane's character, he like walks into the daycare and he's like got his arms up at the door, like dramatically looking out the window, and they're like, hey Gillis, come here bud, come here. And he like turns around and he's like wearing this wolf t-shirt. He's like, oh, you got a new shirt? And he's like showing it off like, yeah. Dude, he's a funny dude. The ISIS car dealership.
Dude, that one killed me. The one with Trump's so funny. My favorite part with the one with Trump's where like there's that one lady who sits down and he like wildly disapproves of her. She just immediately starts insulting him and he's like, you know what? You stink. He used another term, but we'll just say that. He's like, you stink. And then the next lady comes, she's talking, she's just like, this chair stinks. She's like, see, I told her.
Oh, dude. He's got a good Trump impression too.
He does. This is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe that'll be us someday. This thing will. I'd like that. I think that'd be
sick,
cool.
yeah.
That'd be awesome. So what do you think? Do you like this?
Yeah, dude.
Did you have fun?
This was fun.
Yeah. You
I
learned
feel like,
something new?
yeah. I feel like at the beginning I was like just a little tense. Never done this, but
Me too. I'll be honest. I don't know if you could tell, but I was shaking.
yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
Stupid.
I feel like as we just kind of kept everything transitioning, it slowly just felt like you and I having a conversation.
Yeah,
with
except
the
I can
camera
hear
and
your
mics.
voice 2 times.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird. I
It
can
is
hear
trippy.
my voice 2 times.
It's
and I'm having to
trippy,
get
yeah.
used to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're down, I'd love to have you back on
Absolutely, man. This is
as
a blast.
often as possible.
Definitely.
I've got lots of stories up my sleeve ready
Yeah.
to go, and trust me, this is one of the more mild ones.
I
I've got some really good ideas, and
Dude.
I'm sure you'll like them. They'll work better with camera too, so I'm glad you're cool with this whole camera setup.
Yeah, man,
I
of
think it
course.
works good. I definitely want to do some stuff with this setup though. Definitely need to get like some sound foam.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of echo going on. Got to figure out this sound thing. Want to get something stylish so that kind of matches. I definitely want to replace, as much as I love the moose painting, I want to replace it with like a printout of the logo, like the podcast logo, like get like a little square world cannon thing
Okay.
right there.
That'd be sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm still like debating if I should get like bookshelves and stuff, because the nice thing about that is like bookshelves with books that make you look smart, and this is a history podcast, it makes it look cooler.
Yeah.
And like at the same time you get all that paper, it acts as a sound buffer, so you get like a 2-in-1. But I don't know, we'll figure that out. I'll probably just do the sound foam, that's cheaper.
Yeah. Do you know anything about like vocal plugins and stuff?
I have no idea what that means.
Like, I guess example artists.
I will take as much advice as you can. You're the music guy here, so like anything you can.
Yeah, well, like one thing I always struggled with when I would record is natural reverb. The sound just bounces off of everything. You can tame that pretty well with just like a noise gate plugin, to where the input of the mic doesn't go past a certain decibel range. And you can also make it to where the frequency just picks up what's like right here. So it cuts out a lot of that like backdrop. Like example, if I'm recording a song and my cat's right here meowing, trying to get my attention, you wouldn't be able to hear it. Or like if a fan's on or the AC, it cuts out a lot of the noise behind you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. I have to see, because I use Audacity because it's free.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to use Audacity as well.
I think they have a plug-in feature.
Probably do. And if they don't, you can go on the internet and there's probably a free downloadable plugin for just like a regular noise gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
tons of stuff within digital audio workshops where you can like tune the sound of your recording.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
I kind
definitely.
of need that. Because I like, you can also go into Audacity like behind yourself and scrub the audio pretty easily and get
Yeah.
rid of a lot of background noise, but like
Right.
you still get that sort of echo in the mic that you can't really get rid of.
Yeah.
But that plug-in, like you're saying, that should help a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that and pop filters are good too.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways you can clean up sound.
That's what I got. I got pop filter.
Yeah.
I have windscreens too, but I feel like that's a lot, especially with your camera. Like you got this whole giant circle in front of
Yeah.
your face. You
It,
can't-
it's so much different for like podcast material because you're not injecting a lot of frequency through the mic. It's just your voice.
Yeah,
You're
you're
not
just
singing,
talking.
you're not trying to hit notes. So there's less like gleek and like stuff happening with your mouth because you're just talking. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. I'm glad I had my music friend on to give me lots of technical advice. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, dude, happy with what you learned today? Well, okay,
Yeah.
so real quickly, what's like the biggest thing you took away from today?
This is fun. Yeah, this was
fun.
a
Yeah,
blast.
this is
Yeah.
fun.
Well, no, it was cool to learn about everything in the NASCAR space. Is something I didn't know anything about at all. Just like seeing it on the TV or like me and my dad would be watching Sports Center growing up, and like the NASCAR would come on and he'd flip to a different Sports Center so we could
Yeah.
watch the football highlights. So I never knew, much about it at all, but hearing the backstory and the history of kind of how it all worked with bootlegging moonshine and dudes outrunning the cops and 9-year-olds sitting on a pile of books with bricks on his feet trying to get away and spike strips coming out the back. Like crazy, dude.
Yeah, wild
Crazy.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy this. Definitely more than willing to have you on again if you're down.
Yeah, man, of course.
Schedule something out again.
Definitely.
Very soon I'll have to figure out. Maybe actually, how about this? How about we do something?
Yeah.
Just to try to like entice you a little bit more.
Okay.
Not that you don't seem you even need that much more enticing, but just to make it a little funner for you. So I have several options here actually that I already know that I want to do for the very next nice one.
Yeah.
Episode.
That one just came out. I couldn't mask it. Dude, real quick.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm recording, I have like 10, 15 different like vocal plugins on my channel strip, like reverb, auto tune, like a bunch of stuff that makes my voice sound different. And when you make like natural noises with all that stuff on, like a burp, it sounds so funny. You'll burp and it's like all this echoing delay and reverb
dude,
and
that's
distortion.
hilarious.
It's like, oh.
I'll probably do that when you leave here. Just like record a single track on Audacity, put reverb on it.
Yeah.
All right. So we have, let's see. We have one. Actually, we'll probably save that one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I have 4 pretty fleshed out ideas for some future episodes we could do. I want you to pick. I'm gonna give you one word that describes each one, and I want you to pick whichever one interests you the most.
Okay.
Athens, 1908, rave fiasco, or bananas. Which one of those do you want?
So there was Athens, 1908, rave fiasco.
Yes.
And bananas.
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 Yes.
Bananas.
I was actually so hoping you were going to say bananas.
Athens was right there.
Bananas, okay.
Because like the Peloponnesian War, like the Spartans and the Athenians, that's so sick to me.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not that at all.
Oh,
I'll tell you right now, it's not that at all.
I'm glad I didn't pick it.
Don't look it up. Well, it's even better, but don't look it up.
Okay.
Or do. You can. I can't stop you, but it's not what you think. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
But bananas, I was so hoping you were going to say
It was the goofiest out of all.
Yes, dude. No joke, the bananas thing is the whole reason I even started this, because I want to do that episode.
Really?
Well, I mean, it was the final straw. I was like, yeah, if I could do that, that's going to be so much fun.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down.
So next time you're on, we'll do bananas.
Do bananas.
What does that mean? Who knows? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's a mystery.
But yeah, okay. So this was the first ever guest episode of World Canon. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, we've gone almost 2 hours. Dang, we got 2 hours. That's a lot of listening
A lot
time.
of content, yeah.
So thank you very much, Alex.
Yeah, thank you.
Where can people find your stuff?
On all streaming. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora. You can find it pretty much anywhere. It's just my name, Alex, Alex. It's spelled differently. The A has a halo above it, and the L has a cross through the line.
Not confusing at all. I'll link it all.
Yeah. You won't be able to find it if you search it up. You're gonna have to find the link because there's so many like Alex's on streaming. But yeah, he'll
good stuff
link,
though.
so, yeah.
Really good stuff. I got on some of my gym playlists, my
awesome,
cardio
dude.
playlists.
That's awesome to hear.
Distance and Living are like 2 of my favorite songs to run to, or like just do like fast moving stuff like kettlebell workouts. It's like I hear that come on, I'm like, oh, this is my boy Alex. Let's go! Like throwing up kettlebells and stuff. That's how I throw kettlebells too, by the way. Like I'm riding a horse. All right,
means a
dude.
lot, man.
Well, this was a lot of fun. Looking forward to next time. Glad I could teach you. And,
man.
So join us next time and tune back into, I think next week I'm going to try to release the regular episode of Grant versus Lee. We'll be doing Battle of Spotsylvania. That's a crazy one. Some weird, really gruesome stuff happens in that battle. It gets pretty dark, which is saying something because the last one, a bunch of people burned alive in the forest. Nice. Yeah, a bunch of wounded people after a battle in the woods couldn't like escape the fire that came from all the gunpowder going off in a dry forest. So they just got burned alive and choked by smoke and crushed by falling trees.
Yeah.
So yeah, on that happy note, we're going to end it. See y'all next time.